Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to Mason-Dixon Acres. Today we are going to be telling you a little bit about our house plans, and we're going to show you a tour of our final design. But before that, we have to make some coffee and some sourdough pancakes.
Nice.
Georgie. I'm going to tell you about this new coffee that I just got in the mail. So I was reading an article in the Mother Earth News magazine. They were talking about sourcing your coffee beans from somewhere where they grow them organically and where there's fair trade. So I did some research and I ended up picking a company called Tiny Footprint Coffee. So this will be my first time trying it. But they come, you can buy them ground up already or in whole beans. But I have this little grinder, so I'm gonna use that. Oh, whoops.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding
Oh,
me
and
right
Georgie really likes to eat espresso beans.
What? What is this dog doing?
I hope that they're safe. I probably should look that up. Grind it up with my little hand grinder here. It's a workout. And then I use a French press for my coffee, because then we can compost the grounds.
Okay, what'd you just look up?
It says dogs should not have espresso beans because they are more sensitive to caffeine. So
What have we learned today?
make sure no caffeine, or sorry, make sure no coffee beans fall on the floor for Georgie.
The more you know.
Georgie pie. Are you gonna be hyper now? Are you gonna be hyper, dog? See, I only had 2, so I'll be okay. Yes, you'll be okay.
While she is making these pancakes, we have a very important announcement. We finally turned in our plans. Dropped these babies off, 3 copies in paper, to the township this week, and that is a huge relief that those are finally done, because I probably put over 600 hours into learning architecture, learning the software, and drawing these plans up. And not to mention we redesigned the house like 80 times. So that's
not an exaggeration.
That's the goal. Well, that was a solid goal met for this week, and it came just in time because I started my very last 2 grad school classes this week, and they both suck. They have a lot of writing, and I'm so happy that I am not dedicated to working on these plans, because I have to write like 2 research papers every week for the next 14 weeks. How's it going?
We have a fresh egg from the chickens. We've definitely been having issues with the chicken eggs freezing because the temps have been really cold. So some of them we had to actually throw out, but that's okay. We will be better with harvesting the eggs quicker.
So everyone knows, we're not just freeballing this. This is a legit recipe here for sourdough pancakes.
Yep. One of those recipes where you have to scroll to the very bottom.
I hate that.
Just to see the recipe.
Why do people do that? So they make you scroll through 80 ads.
They tell you how they discovered sourdough. I mean, okay, I don't want to offend anyone if you're a blogger, but I mean, sometimes we just don't have that much time.
For the recipe people, stop putting the recipes at the very bottom of your page. Come on.
At least put the recipe at the top and then tell the story.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
Exactly. I hear someone at the door. Hello? Who are you? Who are you? Alright. Come on in. Oh my goodness, he's pushing his way in. Hello? You're a thirsty cat.
Uh-oh, that means the water is frozen.
We got a thirsty cat with frozen water. We have to do something about that. Jeez Louise, it's freezing out there. Literal block of ice in here.
Pancake.
How's it coming?
It's all mixed up. It's time to
Moist.
look at how good it looks.
Moist.
The one thing I love about the sourdough pancakes is that they rise, so just a little bit, so it makes them really fluffy and yummy. And I like to use 1/4 cup to measure out the pancakes.
The best thing I like about sourdough pancakes is eating them. That's about it. I'll let you do the cooking.
baking. Is it baking or cooking? I don't even know.
I don't know. Is making pancakes baking or cooking? You tell us.
We always make extra pancakes because we like to take the extras and make peanut butter and honey sandwiches. They're so good, but especially with the pancakes. So if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend.
The original plan for this weekend was actually to start our electric trench, but because I procrastinated enough and didn't get all of the conduit this week and the load of stone dust delivered that we need for our backfill material, decided not to do that. I had actually lined it up with my old boss at the orchard. He's gonna let me borrow his Mini X, which is a lifesaver, thank you. We were gonna use that to do at least about 2/3 of our electric trench. The rest of it's gotta be done by a contractor because it's right up next to the neighbor's line, and rightfully so, they don't want us severing their electric line. So we have to hire someone with insurance. But for the stuff that's at least on our property and in our right of way, we can do that ourselves. But here is another reason why we are not there today. It is freaking frigid outside. It's like probably 15, 12 degrees, something like that. Snowed like an inch or two last night, and it is just misery out there. It's like an Arctic tundra. So it's a much more pleasant Saturday morning to be in here in the house making pancakes, and unfortunately I do have a couple homework assignments I gotta knock out today, but at least I will be able to feel my fingers in the process of that work. Here's a funny story. After work last night, we got Mexican food at a Mexican restaurant.
But I was like, let's just go. We both got destroyed by the food. Both of our stomachs really hurt from it.
We have been gas factories for the past 12 hours at least. I mean, it's been bad. She thought I had a freaking baby bump because my belly was so bloated when I got home.
Oh, but the food was good. It was worth it.
They made guacamole. They made guac right next to the table, which was cool. That was a lot. That's probably what did it to us.
I think it was the onions. I can't have raw onions for some reason.
Yeah.
Is anyone else like that? Like, raw onions destroy my stomach. Whenever I eat raw onions, it makes my stomach really upset. And I think that's what did it.
But seriously, we have been complete gas factories for the past 12 plus hours. TMI. This is how you know you love someone, because you can talk about farts and it's okay. And you can even let farts out in front of each other and it's okay.
I mean, you're not saying this.
Maple syrup straight from Pennsylvania. That's good stuff. Okay, enough goofing around with pancakes in the kitchen. Let's get to the subject matter of the video, which is the tour of our house in its final form now that we're finally done the design. Now that we have submitted our paper plans to the township for review, we are pretty much officially gonna build what you see here on the screen, unless they have any major changes. So it's time for a tour of exactly what we're gonna be building. It definitely has had a little bit of change since the last time we did this. So let's take a look inside and check out what it's gonna be. We have actually already bought our garage doors. This is the exact model garage door we're gonna get. It's made by Clopay, so shout out to them. Not cheap for those guys. As we come in, the first thing you'll notice is this pole. This was not here, and it actually supports the roof ridge. If you come over to this plan view, this dotted line here is the top ridge of our roof. The pole is right underneath of it, and that will help support our roof from caving in. It's something that the engineer specified, and I'm glad we got him involved. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had that. Unfortunately, though, we're gonna have a pole in the garage, which is a little bit of a bummer, but luckily the cars shouldn't even come this deep, and this is in between the garage bays. So another little future-proof upgrade here. This is a 220 volt outlet for a potential future electric car charger. So that is something we're gonna put in advance, and probably a good idea if you're building a home, because we might be going that way in the next few decades as far as cars go. Coming back into the workshop, this didn't really change a whole lot since the last tour, but I'll have like a wood bench along this wall with some tools and stuff. Same with this wall. I have another 220 volt outlet here for air compressor. This corner back here had a little bit of a change. After talking to my uncle, who's an architect, he made some good suggestions. We used to have like a hallway down this way and then the two rooms on the side, but we decided to make the bathroom a little bit smaller because it's not really that necessary.
to have a big powder room like this just for washing your hands, that sort of thing. And then we reclaimed some of this hallway space into the mechanical room. So now we have a big spacious mechanical room, and we'll need it. There's going to be a lot going on in here between the radiant floor manifolds, the home run, well tank, water heater, and the air handling unit, electric breaker, that sort of thing. So there's going to be more than what's modeled, but this is what I got in here so far. Coming around the corner here and going up the stairs, this is where the main living space is going to be. First thing you'll see here is the kitchen to your left. This is sort of different than the first time we showed it. We used to have a peninsula, we changed it to an island. Still a little bit up for debate, but Elaina really liked the island, so that's what we have now. This is sort of a coffee bar built-in thing we'll do, and then this allowed us to move the dishwasher next to the sink. Got some good practice doing kitchen design. The National Kitchen and Bath Association actually has got some really good design pointers if you're ever in this situation designing a new kitchen. They have a lot of really good best practices, like the kitchen triangle is something you might have heard of. Distance between your refrigerator, stove, and sink. Those 3 points from the center of those needs to be no less than 10 feet, and there can be nothing obstructing that triangle for best access. As well, you want to have countertop on both sides of your stove and on both sides of your sink. Dishwasher next to the sink's a good tip. Just stuff like that, really just good best design practices. Coming over to the pantry. The cabinetry hasn't changed much in here. It did get a little bit deeper because of our ridgepole. So the pipe column is right in the corner of this wall here is where it's going to be hidden, and that's what's supporting the roof. There's also some attic access in here, and there's not a whole lot of storage, but it will be something. And it will be fairly temperate in here. I'm going to be putting insulation on the bottom of the roof deck, not on these attic knee walls here. So we can at least keep canned goods and stuff like that in there. Turning to the other side of the main living space, you'll probably notice the black windows and black French door. That's kind of the modern farmhouse look. We both really like it. They're not going to be cheap, that's for sure, but hopefully they will be really, really beautiful. Pretty simple family room, living room going on here, and then our main table. I guess just a quick brief trip out on the deck. It's a 12 by 12 deck. There's a little 4 by 4 area in the back here where the stairs come off, and hopefully it will have a really nice view out into the field that's over here, as well as the woods that's on the other side of this. Coming back in and coming down the main hall, we have the master bedroom on the left. Really pretty simple in here, just enough space for a bed, little walk-in closet. There's another attic access over here, but it's even smaller than what's next to the kitchen. Straight across from this is the bathroom. So these are obviously not the final finishes, but just kind of wanted to put something in here anyway. This will be tiled. This is a 4 by 6 shower, and we will have dual shower heads. Still not sure how we're going to do the door here, if we're going to do a sliding glass door or what the idea is. Maybe like a barn door would be a good idea for this. I don't know yet. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm building the custom vanity for this. This will be a little slider barn door vanity with drawers on either side of it. I've done one of those for our existing house already, and it turned out really nice. So we're basically just going to copy that. At the end of the hall here is our laundry on the right. So we just have a washer and dryer in here. Probably won't use this louvered door that I have modeled in here, but we'll have something there. And then just a standard window at the end of the hall here. Again, this is going to be sort of modeled to eventually be a door at some point, leading into the other house if we decide to mate it right up to the house here. And then finally, coming into the sort of office slash guest bedroom. This is basically a pretty small bedroom. It's going to be just big enough for a full-size bed. Nothing too crazy going on in here. We'll probably use it as like a film studio slash office for the time being. So that's pretty much a tour of our whopping 1,050 square foot upper living space area. And I think we're going to be really happy with it. We're excited to build it. It's going to be really just enough space for us. We probably could comfortably have a kid or two in here. And it's going to be fun to build this thing. I'm excited to see this come to life. It'll definitely be a heck of a lot of work, but there's no time than our 20s to get started when we're still full of energy.
Let us know what you think about our final design. If there's anything you would change or want us to consider going forward, definitely let us know in the comments below, and we will see you next week.
Thanks.